The Canvas course analytics overview shows you the course activities, for instance, their page views, the light blue ones, and the participation, the darker blue one. You can see from this chart that on certain days students are participating more actively, or on certain days they are not. So that can tell you some patterns about student activity in the course. And then this chart shows you student submissions. There are certain assignments you can see that students are not submitting in time. Some students are missing it, some students are being late in submitting their assignments, and you need to figure out why that's the case. Maybe the assignment is too difficult, or you didn't give them enough time. Think about these factors. And also the course grades. You see that this chart shows the total range. The little whisk here shows the medium grade. And then the bar shows how widespread the grades are, because this bar shows the grades from the 25th to 75th percentile. You can tell that some assignments seem to be easy. Everybody is making a high score. For some, everybody is spread out all over the place. So that also can give you some insights about student performance. On the course analytics page, you can also see a summary of student performances and activities. For instance, their page views, how much they have viewed in your course, how often have they participated in the discussions and things like that. And their submission, whether their submissions are on time, late, or missing. You can see each student's individual performance, or you can rank order them to see which students are missing the most assignments, which students are chronically late for their assignment. Things like that give you a lot of insights. You can also correlate their current score with their course activities. For instance, their page views, whether that has something to do with their scores. Things along those lines. If you click on an individual student's name from the course analytics page, you can also see his or her individual performance. See, this student seems to be missing a lot of assignments, so that's a cause for concern. You can also see how often he or she participated in the class, how many pages they have viewed, things like that. For individual quizzes or exams, you can see the average score, high score, low score, standard deviation, and the average time spent on these quizzes or exams, etc. And you can see how the scores are spread out as well from this summary. You may also sometimes want to know whether the questions in a quiz or an exam is a good question, or is this telling a lot about student knowledge? When you go to the question analysis of a quiz, you can see, for instance, how many students choose particular answers. And also you can see something called a discrimination index. What that does is it shows you how this question in particular tells about a student's achievement. If it is a positive number here, it means students getting this question right is having a higher likelihood of getting the other questions right. So it predicts a lot about student if the number here is very high. If it is 0, this means it does not tell anything about a particular student performance by looking at this question alone. Okay, everybody's having the same chance of getting it right or wrong. If it is a negative index, that means so-called good students may fail in this particular question, and the so-called bad students may get this question right instead. So that may be a trick question, or it's simply a bad question. It does not tell whether students are making great progress in this particular area. This page is called action log. When you go to your quiz that students have finished taking, you can view their action log. Basically, it is a log of activities that they participated in while taking the quiz. You see there's a timestamp here showing every step of the way what the students are actually doing. So when they are spending some time on the question, and whether they go back and forth between the question, whether they stop viewing the Canvas quiz taking page, probably spending time somewhere else doing some other stuff uh, when they're supposed to be taking the quiz. So these are the kind of information that you can gather from the action log of Canvas.